What is cracking, Hope Nation? It is your friendly neighborhood Kevin Hines, and I'm back with another episode of the Hinesights podcast with my friend Carlesha Maddox, aka Carlee, an incredible, amazing human being doing such good for people in brain pain. Carlee is a professional community liaison in the mental health field. She is known for spreading mental health awareness and suicide prevention by educating and connecting those who struggle with mental illness and behavioral health to behavioral health services. Carlee was raised in Sacramento, but now likes to refer to herself as a Houstonian that resides in Houston, Texas. She knows what it's like to lose loved ones to mental illness, which led her to her own mental health challenges. Carlee has worked in the behavioral health hospital settings for 7+ years, consistently advancing and learning the importance of mental wellness. Most importantly, Carlee has dedicated her life to spreading mental health awareness due to losing multiple loved ones to mental illness and overcoming her own mental struggles. She's a new business owner of her company named Stand in Resilience. Every day she makes the conscious choice to stand in resilience and believes that it is her purpose to help others overcome their own mental health challenges by providing tools and resources to inspire others to make a choice to go through the processes to stand in resilience. Carlee believes in taking care of your mental health daily, that it is essential to mental health and wellness. What is most important being Carlee is a phenomenal human being, giving back to her communities, mental health and well-being, helping people of all walks of life stand in resilience, face their pain, and defeat it. Welcome, Carlee, to the Hinesights podcast.
Thank you so much for the great introduction. I really appreciate it. And thank you for having me today.
Carlee, we're so glad to have you. It's a gift to have you on the show. Carlee, can you tell us about your upbringing in Sacramento? Let's start there.
So a little bit about me. In Sacramento, California, I was raised there. I was actually born in Atlanta, but raised in Sacramento, California. In Sacramento, I was raised in Sacramento, California. I have 6 siblings, 5 sisters, and 1 brother that I hold very dear to my heart.
Beautiful, wonderful. What is the important meaning behind your name, Carlee?
So I actually go by Carlee now in memory of my dad, Carl, and my first love. His middle name was Lee. So unfortunately, I lost both of them to mental illness.
I'm terribly sorry for your losses, Carlee. I see you honoring their names, and that's incredible. That's really important.
Yes, I definitely hold them dear to my heart, and I keep them with me with the name Carlee every day.
That's beautiful. I love that. What are some of the things you want us to know about who they were?
So Lee, he was one of the smartest people I knew. He had an outgoing and entertaining personality. He taught me how to stand up for myself and have a lot of confidence. And my dad was one of the funniest people that I know. He always kept a smile on everyone's face, saying different types of jokes. But he definitely knew how to put a smile on your face.
So he was a character, and he was funny, and he made everybody laugh.
Yes, for sure.
You love to see it. I'm so sorry they both passed.
Thank you.
What was it like, Carlee, through your lens, seeing your loved ones struggle so much from mental illness?
It was actually really tough. I lost my first love in 2015, and I was by his side through it all. And I actually him commit suicide, unfortunately. So I was actually there when it happened. And I was with him through this process, through his mental struggles the whole time before it happened. And it was definitely devastating that it led to that. But it started off as anxiety and then to panic attacks. And then he was diagnosed with depression. So all of those things led to this. At the time, we didn't know about mental health at all. Like, we didn't know anything about it. We didn't have any resources, or we didn't have the knowledge of it. So we're just kind of experiencing that. And just like trying to figure it out. We went to emergency hospitals and were turned away. They said that there was nothing wrong with him, even though, he was having panic attacks. His heart was pounding consistently, right? And there was no reason for that because he was just, relaxing kind of things. When we went to the hospital, they said there was nothing wrong with you. And that he had told that. I seen that it took a toll on him because he's so smart sometimes to not know what's going on with you. And, and you're a very intelligent human being. It is really crazy. So it's like, it definitely was intense for him through that process. So parenting these things and seeing them firsthand through my lens were very intense. And then I also experienced losing my father, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I experienced losing him. And that was very intense because seeing him struggle with that, of course, you have to take medication for schizophrenia every day, right? So seeing him struggle with that and use other methods to cope or not understand the coping mechanisms on how to deal with with that diagnosis was very intense.
So you lost your father, you lost your first love. Absolutely devastating. How did those tragedies affect your own mental health? That's what I want to know.
Right. So experiencing losing loved ones is very, very hard. I took it very hard when after losing my loved one to suicide. It was hard. I felt guilt. I felt shame. I felt like I was alone in my experience because at the time in 2015, mental health was not talked about at all. From my knowledge, it was not talked about. I didn't hear about it often. So I felt like a lot of people trying to explain what happened to him was hard for me because they didn't understand what mental health was. They didn't understand what mental health was. I felt like I was alone. And I actually became suicidal myself. Just with all the guilt, feeling guilty, or just him actually doing it. You kind of just feel like you could have done something differently. Like you could have saved them in some way, or you didn't do enough kind of thing. I actually had to go to therapy for a year because I had to learn the process. I had to learn that it wasn't my fault. I had to learn that. And I had to go through the process of learning how to cope with grief, how to cope with losing a loved one. And it was tough. I reached out for help, so I didn't have my loved ones experience the same things that I've experienced with Lee. I didn't want them to go through what I went. And I think that it's really important that people know, it affects your loved ones when you commit suicide. Like, we're left with all these different emotions, and sometimes it can result to other people feeling suicidal themselves. So, went to therapy to learn that death is not an answer, and we can learn to overcome the hardships that we go through in life. So I went through the process of healing, and I just want everyone to know that they're not alone. They're not alone in your mental health struggle.
Went through so much. You now stand in resilience, and you make the message to say that death is not the answer.
Death is not the answer. Yes.
What is your message to those that are going through similar circumstances right now and maybe considering suicide? What do you say to them?
Keep fighting, keep going, fight for yourself. You are worth fighting for. We put so much energy into going to work, going to school, for others, taking care of our children, or so much energy into others, and put that same energy into yourself. Learn what works for you when it comes to your mental health struggle. Learn what coping skills work for you, because everything doesn't work for everyone. Different things work for different people. Keep going and keep fighting and try different things until you find the thing that works for you. you find what works for you for sure, because it's worth it. Mental health struggles, you're not your mental health struggle. You're not your mental health diagnosis. So keep going. That's my message. It is keep going and fight for yourself. And yeah,
Keep going, fight for yourself. Never give up is the idea. And
exactly.
again, I love your message.
And
Let's talk briefly about how you actually began your career in the mental health field. Can you tell us about that?
right. So back in 2016, I was looking for a job and I randomly applied to a hospital. A friend told me about this hospital as a receptionist. She's like, be sure to apply and you'll sure get in, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, a hospital, awesome. I'll be a receptionist, office assistant kind of thing. And I have had experience in that. Yeah, I applied, I got the job, and I didn't realize that it was actually a behavioral health hospital, an inpatient behavioral health hospital. So, I had just lost my loved one to suicide. And at that time I was feeling like I was the only one that went through that. But working in this hospital setting in a behavioral health hospital taught me that I was not alone in that experience. There's so many people that struggle with mental health and have mental challenges. There's so many people. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what you look like. Everyone goes through mental health struggles. So to work as a receptionist in an inpatient hospital, it opened my eyes. It's like, wow, I was first front and center at this hospital. So I've seen the most acute people like that's going through a crisis, that attempted suicide, that's going through depression, that, suffering from substance use in order to cope with their mental health struggle. I've seen it firsthand, and it was just definitely a eye opener. And it's just crazy because I didn't expect to be in that field, this field that I'm in after going through what I went through. So at that point, I realized that it was my purpose. Like I'm meant to be here, So then I just felt this sense of calmness in my life. My life kind of took a turn to just after therapy. I was in therapy at the time. It just took a turn to like peace, I've been in the mental health field for 7 years now, and it's a beautiful thing to just help people in all walks of life get through their mental struggles. And I'm the connection. I connect people to mental health services and just provide hope for people, because in experience losing loved ones to mental illness, I felt alone and I felt like I didn't have enough services, or any services out there at the time, but I directly connect people with services that can benefit them when they're going through mental health challenges. Because there's, like I said, there's so many different resources out here, and what works for you could be different from what works for someone else. So to learn what works for you, to learn what fits your challenge, what fits your mental struggle, and overcome that. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a little bit about my mental health, how I got into the mental health field, and I love it every day.
Carlesha, it's incredible the work you're doing, and you've been doing it for 7 years. And you love to hear stories like this and transformational change for one person who went through, I guess, like got kind of hell in a dark period of life, and then shifted into giving back to others, which is
Right.
our purpose. Our purpose is to give back. Our purpose is to,
Yeah,
it's why we're all here, is to give back to those we know, those we love, those we
right,
matter with, those maybe we don't even like.
right.
It's our whole reason for being on this planet. And some people forget that. You obviously don't forget that. You know that very well, and you're dedicated to your cause. And it's absolutely breathtaking and amazing to hear about. Carlee, what influenced you to create your new business, Stand in Resilience?
So in my in my mental challenges that I face, in my hardships that I've been through in life, I've always been called resilient. I've always been called resilient. I remember the first time I was called, one of my close friends now called me resilient, and I didn't even know what the word was at the time. I'm like, resilient? Is that a compliment? No. But yeah, so, being called resilient, I actually went to go look up the definition of resilient. And I've learned that resilient is overcoming your hardships, overcoming the challenges that you face in life, because everyone goes through challenges, right? Everyone goes through challenges. So to overcome that. And you have to go through a process. I've learned that going through my struggles, it's a process, and it's a process. You have to find a process that fits your needs, that works for you. And everything that I've been through, make sure to, and everything that I've ever gone through, I always go through the process of healing. And I've learned coping skills on how to overcome everything that I've been through, and I use them daily. Standing resilience it means to stand in resilience, stand in the process. Go through the process in order to overcome the challenges that you face, and to get to resilience. So that's how I came up with the name Stand in Resilience, because everyone goes through things. So I want everyone to make the choice to go through it. Don't get stuck in their struggles that they're going through. Go through them. The moment that people go through challenges, it's like you get one negative thought to another, and that turns to a million negative thoughts. Don't entertain that negative thought. Instead, find your coping skills on how to overcome those negative thoughts and overcome your hardships. So standing resilience is basically the process to healing that you have to go through to stand in resilience. And I want everyone to take that, to make the conscious choice to go through the process to stand in resilience.
Hey, well, and it's fascinating, because what I always say is that you can let your pain do one of two things. You can let your pain, strife, and struggle defeat you, or you can let it build you brick by brick from the ground up until you're stronger than ever. And I think that's what standing resilience means. It means stand in your ability to survive the pain, and not just survive, but find a way to thrive again.
Exactly.
That's standing in resilience, which is just incredible. How will standing resilience impact lives? Can you break that down for us?
Right. So standing resilience will empower, inspire adolescents, adults, older adults to overcome their mental challenges in life. Standing resilience provides tools and resources on how to overcome challenges to get to standing in resilience. So, for example, one of the big things I have coming up, I actually just launched my new website. It's in the process. It's called standingresilience.com. And we will have mental health treasure kits that you can refer to when you're going through mental health challenges, or if you do not know what mental health challenges you're even going through. Because some people, like I've experienced, don't know what's going on, like don't know what anxiety is, doesn't know what panic attacks is, but but are experiencing these things, right? So, and resilience will provide tools on, being aware and understanding what's going on. And we will be providing the tools on how to just be aware of mental health, because in the time that I experienced losing loved ones to mental health, I didn't feel like I had enough resources. I felt lost. I felt, just alone. So I want to provide those tools to let people know that they're not alone, and here are the resources. And Standing Resilience will as that.
Incredible. Where can people connect with you and your business and utilize your services?
So if you go to standingresilience.com, scroll down, like I said, the website is in the process of being tweaked a little bit. So it's in the process. But if you scroll down to the bottom and subscribe, we will be sending you updates on the process of our websites and new things coming to Stand in Resilience. So you can subscribe on our website or go to our Instagram at Stand in Resilience on Instagram. And if you can't find me there, I'll be on LinkedIn as Carlee, Carlee, on LinkedIn. So I have a couple of different ways of reaching me. And last but not least, I do have an email if anyone is interested in reaching out. If anyone is interested in me coming to speak regarding mental health services or about my story, I'm all open for that. And you can reach me at info@standinresilience.com.
Perfect. As we wrap up here, Carlee, what message do you want to leave with everyone on this podcast? This is the Hinesights podcast, and goal is to help people with their brain and mental health, to help people with the entrepreneurial spirit. You're obviously an entrepreneur running your business, Stand in Resilience. You're trying to help other people find hope, healing, and recovery.
Right.
What is your final message as we leave the podcast? What do you want to say to the audience listening today, listening, hearing, and watching?
If you just experienced losing a loved one to suicide, I know that it's very hard because I've been through the process. Just know that things do get better over time. It takes time to heal. Go through the process of grief. Go through the process of healing, and to overcome that. If you're actually going through a mental health crisis at this moment, know that it is not forever. It is not a forever thing. You will be able to overcome it. Just ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because no one can read your mind. We cannot read your minds. You have to reach out for help so we can help you because you are loved and you are important and you are worth fighting for. So if you're going through any time that you post struggle, ask for help. And if you do not know how to, know that there are resources out there. So always reach out. It could be as simple as reaching out to a friend and saying, I'm feeling this way. Speak up because we want you here. We want you here. So speak up, ask for help when it comes to a friend. And if you are a loved one that is experiencing someone going through a mental health struggle, stay consistent at giving them resources, like letting them know that there's other people going through what they're going through, so they can open up to you, kind of thing. But stay consistent, because one thing about myself, during the loss of my dad, like I said, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So just stand strong. I know that we can't make someone get help, and it's hard. It's very hard, and I understand that. But just keep fighting for them, and keep try to encourage them to keep fighting for themselves, to get the help that they need, because there is help out here. There's a lot of resources out here. So just find one that works for you. That's my message to everyone. Just keep going, keep fighting. I know this world is very hard. Life can life, but you can overcome any hardships that you're going through. I am living proof of it. And I stand in resilience every day. So choose resiliency, choose to build, because it's an amazing thing. And once you overcome it, it will be a beautiful thing.
Carlee, beautifully said. Thank you for wrapping up this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, Carlee Maddox, an incredible effort to give back to her community. We all have to fight to stand in resilience, just like she is. If you want to find Carlee, go to standinresilience.com, go to the contact page below, subscribe, and get information on all of her resources. Email her at info@standinresilience. Instagram, go on IG, follow her on IG at @standinresilience. LinkedIn with Carlee at Carlee. We've all got to fight to be here tomorrow. We've all got to put our best foot forward to win the game of life. And Carlee is a fine, shining example of someone who's gone through the pits of hell to come out on the other side filled with hope, healing, and timely recovery and well-being. And she can help you do the very same. Friends, family, everyone listening, viewing, watching, subscribing, be here tomorrow and every single day after that. You are valued, you are loved, you are worthy. And I promise, I give you my word, you matter, and you matter to us. Take care, be well, and be here tomorrow. See ya.